I'd like to show you a recipe today that we call purple bacon pasta. You see me washing 3 beetroot here. Don't cut anything off, just wash them and get the sand off. If you cut stuff off, then they'll bleed out when they're boiled. Now we transfer them to the pressure cooker. They should need about half an hour when they're this big, once the pressure's on. Half an hour is so much time that I can go out and buy some bacon and pasta. I've done that now, and it's time to cut it into strips of about 6 millimeters. Once the bacon is cut, fry it in a frying pan, not to a crisp, but just sort of slightly browned. That's all that's required. While the bacon is frying, I put some water on to boil for the pasta. Add a bit of salt. You don't need an awful lot of salt for this recipe altogether because the bacon is quite salty already. Here's the bacon. That's just about done. I can turn it off now. Right, my trick for depressurizing the pressure cooker after half an hour is just run some cold water over it. To cut the beetroot, I'm putting on gloves, and on my left hand I put double gloves because it's very hot when it comes out and it's easier. These are basically used clean room gloves. I prefer the nitrile gloves to the normal marigolds. Right, once the beetroot's cooked, you should be able to kind of peel the skin with your hand. Once it's peeled, you have to slice it. I'm trying to get cubes of about 6 millimeter, 1/4 inch, and it's a lot easier if you keep the stack all together. Whenever you scrape a knife, just like you see me there, always scrape it with the back of the knife, otherwise it gets blunt. Now, as I said, keep the stack together when you want nice and neat dice. I'm taking a bit of care here to make sure it's all evenly cut. Now I'll cut them in the third direction, then you get nice little cubes. Here we go. That can go. I'll just put that in the frying pan on top of the bacon because it's all going to get mixed up. I'll do the rest of the beetroot, and once the water's boiling, I boil the pasta for however long it says on the bag. It's 9 minutes in this case. When it comes back to the boil, you just stir it once and put the lid back on, turn it right down so it doesn't go over. So this is all the beetroot chopped. The pasta is ready to drain. Drain the pasta and put it straight back in the pan. Now you add the bacon and beetroot carefully. Try not to spill too much. Next thing I add is a little bit of nutmeg. Freshly ground nutmeg is always superior to the stuff that you buy ready ground, which is really not worth buying. So here's my grater and my nutmeg. Put a nice bit of nutmeg on. That's all I add in terms of spices. Now there's 150 mils of single cream. Once the cream's in, all you need to do is stir it around and the dish is finished. You realise this is an original Seb recipe because I invented it, and if anybody else comes up with it, you know they've stole it from here. Thanks for watching, and guten Appetit!